Hello guys, this is Don's Movies and welcome to another discussion video. So today I want to talk about a mysterious trademark called the Eye of Azshara. Just like every time before BlizzCon, Blizzard trademarks something that everyone starts talking about and it becomes a huge mystery. Now last year it was the Dark Below, but apparently that turned out to be a DLC for the game called Destiny, which is more on the Activision Blizzard part, not so much on the actual Blizzard, so it has nothing to do with Warcraft or anything related to that. But this time there is no such confusion, as it's called Eye of Azshara and everyone knows who Azshara is. Definitely a Warcraft character, so it has to do something with Warcraft. So I wanted to make this video before, but I thought there is no point because they will announce it on BlizzCon anyways and we'll get more info, so it would be kinda dumb for me to speculate like a few days before. But that wasn't the case and that name wasn't even mentioned, which really adds up to the entire mystery. Now, I'm guessing there's going to be people watching this video like a year later and everyone knows what the Eye of Azshara is and I'm here speculating and everyone's gonna think how dumb my speculations are, but it's meant for the current time while we're in the unknown, so do keep that in mind. Alright, so many people said it's a Hearthstone expansion because it's called the Eye of Azshara because it has the same wording as the Curse of Nyxnemus, but I definitely don't think that is the case because I made that mistake the last year when I heard Warlords of Draenor. Now, I don't know about you guys, but at the point I remember thinking about this can't be a WoW expansion, as usually they don't give such names like that, like Warlords of Draenor, as it sounds something Hearthstone related because it's called Heroes of Warcraft, so Warlords of Draenor kinda sounded similar, so I was almost certain that it has to do something with Hearthstone, but it turned out to be a WoW expansion and we're here right now, so I won't make that same mistake as I did before. But I don't honestly think it's related to Hearthstone, as they just announced a new expansion called Goblins vs Gnomes, which will be the first official expansion for the card game. Now there is still the possibility that the Eye of Azshara could be the second expansion, which would work, as they can add a bunch of Night Elves and Naga cards to the game, so that will still sort of be a possibility, although kind of unlikely in my opinion. Now, another speculation by people is that it could be like a raid or a patch like 6.1 or 6.2, but that is unlikely as well, as I don't really remember Blizzard trademarking patches and raids in the past. But I might be wrong on this, so do correct me in the comment section, but I just don't remember them doing so. Also, I don't see why the patches should have anything to do with Azshara, as we are going to Draenor after all, so I'm expecting all of the patches to be related to Draenor, and the entire adventure going on pretty much on Draenor. It shouldn't have to do anything with Azeroth. Now, apart from that, I don't really see what else it can be except from a WoW expansion, maybe something related to Heroes of the Storm, although I doubt that as well. Alright, so let's get to the actual meat of this thing, the WoW expansion. Now, what it can be and when it can actually be released. So, at this point, the timing is really what's making the entire thing really weird, as they cooperated it a few days before this BlizzCon, so I thought it would be kinda strange if they announced a new expansion a few days before the release of a major expansion, as that would kinda switch the hype, as right now everyone is just waiting for Warlords of Draenor, as it is going to be out in a few days from now, so I don't see why they would want to switch the hype to a different expansion, because they still want people joining Warlords of Draenor, as they worked like 2 or 3 years on this, so they definitely want people to be hyped up about Warlords of Draenor for at least next like half a year or something like that. But then comes the question, why would they even copyright it right now, as I don't see them announcing a new expansion before BlizzCon 2015, but if they do that, it won't really work well on the near yearly expansion they promised before, as if they announce it a year from now, it would probably be playable a year after that, once you have the alpha and the beta and all of that in the development process. Now a possibility is that the new expansion might be work in progress and they could announce it before BlizzCon by organizing like a new event, just like they did for the cinematic reveal a few months back, which honestly I wouldn't even mind, as then on BlizzCon they can show the cinematic and maybe even release the game at that point. So that is on the timing. Now let's talk about what the expansion can actually be about. Now I feel like the name Eye of Azshara is kinda self-explanatory, and you can tell it either has to do with the Highborn or the Naga, although I think the Naga thing might be a bit more likely. Now, we could go back in time and witness the first invasion of the Burning Legion, or maybe they can actually make another universe and turn the third invasion of the Burning Legion and make it happen through the events of the first one. So, for example, the first invasion, it's a bit of a weird concept, but like the first invasion will actually be the third one, and they know what happened in the past, but they're attacking in the same way again, although this time more prepared, and we also know what happened, so I think it would be a bit of an interesting concept, although it is kinda confusing. A problem with that is though, is that I don't think they will make 2 time travel expansions in a row, and a lot of people might hate that, but then again everything is possible, so it could still be a possibility, although I don't think it's like a thing that will actually happen anytime soon. So that is why I think a Naga expansion might be coming soon, as they have been exploring that area a lot lately and many possibilities are coming for that. I mean, they did a Vashir zone in order to see the feedback by the players and see if it is something they would be interested in and if they would play that, which they actually said they did with Vashir. Plus they had the entire raid and the entire Neptune storyline scrapped and unfinished, so this might be a perfect opportunity to actually finish that and explain the entire storyline. Now, all of this might seem a bit weird to some people, but a Naga expansion really isn't anything out of the ordinary or anything like super crazy, as they have so much material to work with that they can even make like 2 Naga expansions. So as I said, it's nothing really crazy or something they just made up recently, as the storyline and the hints have just been building up and building up. Now, this expansion could also be a great way to add a new playable race to the game and add more underwater zones, and most importantly, help us learn more about a bunch of stuff, especially the old gods like Enzot, since he is down there near Vashir and the Naga. Now, it is also a scenario that I believe I mentioned somewhere in the past, that I can see happening. Maybe the Naga get controlled by Enzot and Azshara is leading them against the world of Azeroth, and we would have like an invasion of the old gods, or at least manipulated by the old gods. And then like the end boss could be Enzot, which would be quite awesome, and it would have like a great twist in my opinion, as Enzot is quite a powerful old god, and he is the one that is said to have corrupted Neltharion and pretty much turned him into Deathwing. So I definitely see the Eye of Azshara as a World of Warcraft expansion, and not really much of a Hearthstone expansion or even as a World of Warcraft patch or a raid, and I don't see why Azshara would even be relevant on anywhere on Draenor. And that is all I have for this discussion. Thanks a lot for watching, and do leave your speculations in the comment section below, and what do you think Eye of Azshara is, as I do read all of the comments and I will try to respond to as many as I can. Now, sometimes I don't really respond, but I always read them because I have the email notifications, so feel free to leave your speculations in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, favorite and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel and keeps the videos going. And also check out my Twitch or TV stream, as I stream there a few times a week, multiple games, and you can also ask me all sorts of questions. Now, I will also start streaming a bit more seriously there in about a week. So a few days after the release of Warcraft Draenor, as I plan on spending quite some time streaming the entire 90 to 100 leveling process and kinda giving you some lore and all that stuff, because I already did the questing, but this time it's like more finished and I know what's going on, so I might be able to give you a bit of a guidance on like what's going on in Warcraft Draenor and the storyline. Anyways, thanks so much for taking your time to watch this video, and see you next time.